How's it going, guys? Today we're working on a 1998 Toyota Camry, and this 1998 Toyota Camry has a few different problems. It has a problem when you go on the interstate. It wants to bog. It has a little bit of a rough idle, erratic idle, and just when you're driving around town, it just doesn't seem like it has any power. So the owner is younger. She doesn't really know much about cars, so we have the problem with a little bit of a communication problem with her. She was thinking it was kicking out of gear, but then after talking to her, I think it was just bogging down. Went and pulled the transmission fluid, and this is the 2.2 liter. This is the 5S-FE. I don't remember exactly. I have to look that up. Okay, so it's a 5S-FE, the 2.2 liter, and so went ahead and pulled the transmission fluid dipstick. It looks good. There's no problems with it. Looks like somebody's changed it fairly recently. This car has, I don't even know, 170K on it, I believe. Checked the oil. It was a quarter of a quart low. Sometimes these like to drip oil a little bit. This one isn't too bad. We just kind of went and checked everything out. So when it was running, and I just touched this without my legs or hands touching metal, just touched it, and you can hear it arcing out, see it arcing out in there. So we're probably definitely going to put spark plug wires on it. Other than that, we cleaned the PCV valve. Somebody just replaced it not long ago. It looks good. That's another fail point. If it's not kicking down right, this car actually has a cable actuated kick down. So how this guy works is when you hit the gas, it pulls this cable and it tells the transmission when to kick down. The top cable is for the throttle. Well, some of the problem was that the cables are so loose, the bottom one and the top one, that neither one was open all the way up when you floored it and was not kicking down right. So we thought maybe that was a problem, but after seeing the spark plug wires, we pretty much know that's what it is. We went ahead and readjusted both the cables. There's little nuts with adjustments, and you don't want to make them real tight. You still want to be able to have some flex in them, but you don't want them too loose either. It won't function correctly. And then one other thing you want to check out, these valve covers don't have any bolts on them at all. How they're held down is, man, watch this guy right here. They're held down by these nuts that go around the spark plug tubes. It's really common these things get some miles on them, and those nuts will work loose after the gasket gets hard and compresses, and they'll start leaking down in the spark plug tubes. They'll start leaking down the back of the engine. So that's the first thing we had to do. This has a little bit of oil on it on this one, but that is from somebody pouring it in there and missing the hole when they're putting oil in it. So that's all good. And the problem with this is I think they're bad enough that this little girl is not going to be able to drive this car with that incident. So we got on O'Reilly's website, we got on AutoZone, and what's been going on lately is AutoZone O'Reilly's been selling the China parts you buy off eBay, but for 10 times the price. So we get on there, and you know, they had, I think the cheapest set they had was $50, and it was O'Reilly's brand, you know, or AutoZone brand, which is the China stuff. And you go on eBay and they're like $16, $18 for a set of spark plug wires. My experience is exactly the same brand. From eBay, a set of NGKs, you know, get OEM set, they're about $28. O'Reilly's are close to, you know, $100 for the same exact set. So basically what it needs less than 20 bucks for the parts. We did find it has oxygen sensor code. Oxygen sensor, fortunately, is the same way. You know, when I did the sensors on the Sequoia, we tried to get OEM on the last one. It was just getting to be basically a $100 bill for a somewhat of a name brand, not even OEM, just any kind of name brand oxygen sensor. And we ended up putting a China one in it for 20 bucks, and it's working fine. You know, watched on live data on the scanner, and it's consistent with the other four. So this one has a heater problem on the rear sensor. This one, if I remember right, the plug-in actually goes up through the floor of the car in the middle of the car. So I have to look it up. Go in from under the carpet and unplug it. I remember right. And do that. You might be able to pull it onto the body of the car and do it. We're probably going to go ahead and do that. I don't think she's going to want to spend $100. This car has already come from a shop in my local town and already had a massive amount of money spent on it. I don't know why they didn't catch the spark plug wire problem. I don't know. But we do know they charge you over $500 to do the brakes. I believe it's front rotors and all the pads all around. And I don't know what they did. Sometimes people, I don't know. But the brake pedal has about 4 inches of play before it even grabs. And that tells me, since they didn't take any calipers off, well, I sure the hell hope they didn't, to put pads on it, but you never know. Most of the time what happens, they'll have the pads off, somebody will hop in the car, they'll hit the brakes and they'll push the piston out and blow fluid out. So I guess it didn't re-bleed it. So I guess we're going to take our brake bleeder and re-bleed it. So usually Camrys are pretty good. This thing's pretty good shape overall. Doesn't have a huge amount of miles on it, but man, I tell you what, you guys know what I'm talking about. The wrong kind of shop will just be so expensive, and trying to get anything fixed in the car correctly is just about impossible. Also, the intake boot, the clamp on it isn't even tight. So I don't know, you know. But that's it, guys. I want to catch you up on what was going on. I haven't posted this channel in a little while, and hopefully enjoy the videos, and thanks for watching. See you later.